How the Trojan War mirrors today's conflicts. Have you ever stopped to think, we might be living through our own modern-day Trojan War, not with swords, not with shields, but with sharp words, flashing screens, and an invisible war of narratives? Troy didn't fall from the outside, it crumbled from within, not by brute force, but by strategy, by deception, by the gift no one questioned, the horse. And today, how many gifts do we accept without a second thought? Endless scrolls, viral posts, tailored news feeds that confirm what we already believe. We welcome them into our minds, thinking they're harmless. But just like the Trojans, we don't realize what's hiding inside. We live in echo chambers. We argue with those who think differently. We label anyone who disagrees as the enemy. Just like back then. Everyone believes they're fighting for what's right, for truth, for justice. But what if the real enemy isn't out there? What if it's our refusal to listen? Our addiction to being right? Pride fueled the war in Troy. Honor, wounded, was the excuse. And myth turned bloodshed into legend. Today, our myths are digital. Our heroes wear filters. Our battles are fought with comment sections, not spears. And in the noise, we forget to build bridges. But what if real strength today isn't in attacking, it's in listening, in pausing, in resisting the urge to always respond? Maybe the new warrior isn't the loudest voice, but the calmest one. Maybe the new armor is awareness, not aggression. Let me ask you, how many conflicts in your life could you avoid by choosing to understand instead of react? What silent wars are you feeding on social media, at work, at home, because you're afraid to pause? The Trojan myth still lives because it reveals something timeless about us: pride, fear, vengeance. But also, choice. Athena, goddess of wisdom, was present in that war. And maybe wisdom is still present now, just quieter, waiting in the silence we rarely allow ourselves. So, if you've made it this far, tell me in the comments, what war are you carrying? Inside you? What's your Trojan horse? Something you think is harmless but might be causing harm? And if this message sparked something in you, consider subscribing. Here, we don't chase perfection, we build perspective, and your voice in the comments makes this journey real. In the Iliad, Achilles represents rage, wounded pride, emotion, taking over reason. And today, we're surrounded by modern-day Achilles, emotionally hurt, fighting digital battles for pride, validation, a sense of being seen. But even Achilles had a heel, a weakness, a reminder that even the strongest are human. And here's the truth: we fight outer wars to avoid facing the inner ones. We drown in noise to escape our silence. We get lost in debates to avoid the deep questions we ask ourselves in the dark. Social media is our modern Troy, a city built on illusions, a stage where we showcase strength and hide pain, where we build castles of image, but forget to lay foundations of truth, connection, and humility. And in the chaos of all this, we forget, no one wins alone. In the Trojan War, alliances mattered. Today, collaboration is power. But our culture often tells us only one can shine, only one can win. But what if true victory is building together? Turning debate into dialogue, rivalry into shared vision? How many times have you judged someone without knowing their story? How often have you been the one to bring the horse inside your own gates? The war isn't just out there. It begins in here, in the thoughts we feed, in the beliefs we don't question, in the narratives we replay over and over. But here's the hope. Peace begins in here too, when you choose to understand instead of react, when you ask why, instead of jumping to blame. When you realize listening isn't surrender, it's evolution. The world doesn't need more shouting. It needs more listening. It doesn't need more walls. It needs more bridges. Maybe Troy didn't fall because of the enemy's strength, but because no one imagined a different way forward. Today, we have something ancient. Troy didn't. Technology, information, connection. But none of that means anything if we don't use it to grow, to come back to what makes us human. So I invite you now. Pause. Breathe. Share this video with someone you care about, someone who might be fighting a silent war of their own, someone who might just need to feel heard, not attacked. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. If this message moved you, you're already part of the shift. Here, every voice matters. Every insight counts. At its core, the Trojan War was a battle over something symbolic. Helen, yes, a woman, but also an idea, an excuse, a reflection of human desire and fragility. Today, our Helens are different. Ideologies, status, validation. How? Many arguments have you witnessed, or been part of, over things that deep down weren't really worth it. We fight emotional wars dressed as rational debates, but behind them lies fear, insecurity, loneliness. If Troy's story still echoes, it's because it touches something timeless, not with swords, but with silence, not with shields, but with ignored messages, not with siege towers, but with emotional walls. And yet, the cycle can be broken. You can be the Odysseus who thinks differently, the Hector who faces conflict with courage and dignity, the voice that doesn't escalate, but de-escalates, that doesn't scream louder, but listens deeper. You can be that person, the one who brings light instead of heat, who chooses dialogue over destruction, who rebuilds what was broken. Because in the end, true revolution doesn't destroy, it restores. So what will you do with this reflection? Will you keep it to yourself, or will you pass it on, like a flame not meant to burn, but to guide? In the comments, leave one word that reflects the kind of change you want to be in moments of conflict. It could be, listen, breathe, bridge, understand. Let's create a wall of words that reminds us of the power we hold to change the course of any story. And if you haven't subscribed yet, let me say this. You are welcome here. This is a space for insight, for growth, for calm in the noise. And I'd be honored to have you join this journey. Tap subscribe, hit the bell, and if this video moved something inside you, share it with someone. Maybe you are someone's Odysseus today, the one who offers a new perspective, a new route, a new kind of leadership. Because in the end, it's not the size of the battle that matters. It's the size of the peace you choose to build.